Hey team, it's the coach here. How you doing? Hey, today we have to talk about a not so happy subject, and that is how to avoid not getting paid, right? We need all the dollars we can generate these days, right? So as a photographer, I'm a commercial photographer, I don't like to overburden my clients with paperwork and heavy-duty contracts, and I find that that can actually turn off a lot of folks, but we do want to keep things legal. Now, basically, without getting into crazy copyright law, as the photographer, you are considered the person who creates the photograph. Therefore, the copyright, in the US at least, becomes yours automatically. Copyright is granted to you automatically. Now, when you shoot pictures for a company, say, you can transfer the copyright, or you can allow them to use the images on a temporary basis, but the copyright still remains yours, right? That's two different ways to go. Now, typically, we don't normally transfer copyright, well, certainly not for portrait accounts, but for commercial accounts, it depends on what they want to do with it. We normally retain copyright. If nothing else, we retain the use to use the materials for our own promotion. But there are times when clients want the entire copyright, meaning they want to do whatever they want with this image without having to come back and pay you more or ask you whatever. Well, let's go back and let me tell you a little bit of a story. I'm usually very good about paperwork. Now, I don't believe that all jobs, big and small, need to have contracts in order to get us to pick up a camera and go shoot a job. Why? Well, of course, a contract does guarantee you a lot of things, but it also can be cumbersome, difficult, time-consuming, expensive, and can turn a lot of customers off. But ultimately, it does allow you the best protection. Now, we use cost projections. Take a look at this. That's a cost projection. And even though that's not officially a contract, that lets the customer know what they can expect, what they're going to pay for, sometimes how long it'll take. Also, there may be a paragraph at the bottom of that that says this allows you to use the images that we create for the period of 1 year after the day we deliver them. Then at the end of that year, you can buy a license to reuse those images if you like, right? That's called licensing. So basically, you either just keep the copyright, like in a family portrait, you own the copyright. They buy the prints from you. They're not interested in the copyright. The copyright stays with you. They buy more prints. Life is great. Well, in a commercial situation, that's a different story. That copyright still remains with the photographer, but as it's used, say on a website. Here's an example. Had a company hire me to shoot 3, 4, 5 different customers of theirs. And the intent was to have really nice looking professional business corporate headshots that are going to appear on their websites as well as other social marketing platforms. Great. We also shot video, made some talking portraits, made some e-cards in fact. Great. The copyright always remains with us, but we did grant unlimited use, not unrestricted, but unlimited use of the images on the website and other social media platforms. Terrific. Now, do we get that in writing? Yeah, it's on the bottom of the invoice. Piece of cake. So when that invoice gets paid, that's part of the contract without having 9 pages worth of contract. Now, when you're working with an ad agency or they're talking about using these for all kinds of different things, that's when you need to define what you're going to do, how you're going to do it, what they can use them for, what they can't use them for, what happens, all that other stuff. That's contract. Let me give you, for instance, Tootsie Roll, as you know, has been my favorite client, probably, of all mankind. For years, we've been photographing for them. Now, do you know how offended they would be that after 30 years of me being their annual report photographer, if I would ask them to sign a contract? That's offensive. Yeah, that's a great way to lose a customer. And we don't need to lose any customers, right? We want to keep them. Yeah. Well, let me give you another example. we sent out a cost projection, looks like this. Customer agrees. We go and shoot a job. This was the first time we worked with a customer. We decided that we were going to prove to them how great our work is because we were by far the highest priced photography company that this person worked for. They were used to going to, Craigslist and that kind of stuff. Well, they really wanted our quality of imaging, but they really didn't want to pay for it. So I said, listen, let me show you the value of what we bring to the table. So knowing what our full rates are, you give me enough work to make it worth my while, I'll give you a substantial discount. Now, in this case, I'm going to give you a 50% discount. That's way beyond where I would normally go, but I wanted to help the guy out. His business was just getting off the ground. He had had troubles with photographers in the past. I wanted to show him what real professional photographers are about. So we shot the jobs. Clients could not be happier, right? Everybody's happy. Images get quickly retouched. They end up on the websites. They go out on social media. Terrific. Well, the guy gets the bill and says, wow, this is more than I thought it was. Well, it's still half of what we normally charge, and we did discuss it in detail, and they did agree upon what the price was going to be. So we asked, hey, how about we just cut the bill in half so you can pay it in 2 halves? So let me rewrite you an invoice that you can pay however you want to pay it, check, credit card, whatever, right? Then we'll give you the other half and give you another 30 days to pay it. So basically, we're stretching the terms from 30 days to half of it in 60, the other half in 90, right? Look, if that's what it takes to keep a client happy, I'm there, right? Totally. Okay. So the guy says, terrific, that's what we'll do. Louis goes, redrafts up. Okay. Guy makes the first payment. Then when it comes time for the second payment, we get a bunch of baloney. No, this isn't what we agreed on and whatever. I said, whoa, hang on a second. Well, this should have come up when you got the first invoice that you said was too high. There wasn't any talk about you were only going to pay half and that was over. It's time for you to pay. Well, he didn't want to pay. So I said, okay, well, here's what you need to know. You need to know that as a photographer, I own the copyright. That means you're using images that actually belong to me until they're paid in full. Then, the agreement that I have, typically with most of those kind of commercial accounts, is that they have unlimited use to those images. They don't have to buy another license at the end of a year because in 2 years or 3 years, that person will have aged enough that it's time for a new picture. So I want them to come to me. But if you're hitting them with licensing fees, they're more likely to find someone else. Okay, we like to have friendly customers and we like repeat business. So in this instance, we said, sorry to do this to you, bro, but look, if you don't pay, I'm going to have to revoke the copyright. And here's what I can do. That means that I can charge you my stock image use rates, which are lots higher than just paying me to shoot them and then you use them as a group. All right, well, he didn't want to do that either. So he went and got an attorney, and his attorney said, we're going to send you a letter. I said, terrific. All right, you can send all the letters you want to. Here's what's going to happen. We're going to contact your customer whose website is using our picture, and we're going to send them a cease and desist and say, we're very sorry, but please stop using the photographs that we took that are on your website because they're not paid for. If you'd like to pay for them, here's how much they would be, and you can leave them on your website. If not, you have to take them off your website, and we give them a time frame, typically a month. I mean, come on, you can find somebody in a month to take them down. All right, here's what ended up happening. The client, the customer, got scared, took the photos down off the website. So now, I really don't have any recourse other than small claims court, which I could certainly do. I would win easily because I've got all my paperwork. What I have found, and I hope you have too, those of you that have had to go to small claims court is where you don't need a lawyer. You can represent yourself. It's in regular language. You fill out the papers, you go to the county courthouse, and you will find that small business people are usually smiled upon by the judge, particularly when you are professional and polite, courteous, organized, and you have everything in writing. That's right. When you can show the judge, this happened, this happened, this happened, this happened, this happened, and then it didn't get paid, you'll get the judgment in your honor, really. Unfortunately, I've been to small claims court 4 times, and I've won all 4 times, and it takes that fast, right? So it's an ugly thing, and you don't want to have to sue anybody. I mean, that's the last thing you really want to do. And, of course, bad word spreads quickly and those kind of things. So bottom line is, the person who hired me took it serious that I was about to contact his clients and pulled all the photos off the website. Well, imagine that guy's position. He's got to call his customers who he's already billed and say, hey, you know those really nice photos that you loved from that really great photographer that came in? Yeah, 90 days ago? Yeah, I need to take all those off your website. So I'm not quite sure what you say after that, because you know the customer's going to say, well, why? Well, the last thing you want to say is, well, I couldn't quite pay my bill. Well, doesn't matter. Bottom line is, we won't be pursuing it in court. We're just going to let it go, because the court costs in our county will be around $300, and I think the balance due is $1,200. The amount of time it'll take to actually go do that, it'll be day by the time we're all done. And it doesn't pay to hire an attorney to go represent you to go do that anyway. If you run into a situation where you're shooting in a commercial environment, not portrait wedding, of course, wedding you need a contract, big contract, right? Real deal contract. But if you're going to start shooting some commercial type of work, you need to have your paperwork in order. You don't have to have a huge, scary contract. And in fact, I would suggest that you don't have a huge, scary contract. If you think you need a contract, have one written with the least amount of words that are in the most common everyday English in order to get your point across and in order for them to still be upholdable in front of a judge. Because that's the best way to do business, right? Friendly, easy, but you got to protect yourself too. Keep good records and save every cost projection, even if it's a PDF, send it back. Don't think that you need to send a cost projection, have somebody sign it, return it. All right, does that help you? Yeah. Does it really mean anything? Not really. If you send someone like this customer a cost projection and then you get the shoot, that proves to the judge or to anyone that they've accepted your cost projection, right? Right. Okay. So don't make it any more complicated than it needs to be, really. And if you run into problems like this, you know, you're gonna. 1 out of every 25, particularly in this economy, people are going to ask you for a discount, or they're going to try to take a discount, or they're going to ask you if they pay you in advance if they can get a discount. Look, all we want to do is make great pictures for great customers. And in this case, I don't know if we made great pictures. I think we kind of made great pictures, but didn't really turn out to be a great customer. Better luck next time, right? Coach here saying, keep all your paperwork, do the best possible business you can, make the best images you can, and keep smiling even when you don't get paid. Crockett here saying, go get 'em.